I told to them, it's not important the result, it's important your attitude. If your attitude is not 100%, I get crazy. You look at me smiling, but be careful.
Like enjoyment in the football is to play, just to play.
I think football has got lost in the tiki-taka way. If you can do it in one pass, why take 5?
Gut instinct and experience counts for a lot.
Our fans are our stamina, our vitamin. I am not a magician, I am a normal man who works with a passion, with the love.
There is no sort of egos, there is no cliques.
Jamie is a Jamie, he doesn't change.
There were a lot of emotions flying. I think you could see that from the way I ran off celebrating.
The pressure of the clean sheet, we need to get a clean sheet.
Always we consider goal. I said, that's not possible, come on, man. And they absorb everything.
Maybe it can happen something amazing this year. It's one of the toughest leagues, and to be crowned champions.
It means everything. I never thought I'll be in this position.
Something special.
From August 2015 to May 2016, Leicester City Football Club was the most informed team in Britain, if not the world. The first £1 million non-league player, a failed St Mirren trialist from Algeria, the blessings of a Buddhist monk, even a fan-created earthquake. Against all expectations, Leicester City shook the golden foundations of the world's richest football league, and they did it in some style. The Foxes' team spirit, tenacity and togetherness has inspired one of the most diverse populations in Britain, turning the city into a symbol of hope and a model of integration and community, united by the colour blue. This city of just 340,000 people has something special to show the world, and right now the world might just be watching. Leicester, a proud and fearless city, a proud and fearless club.
Go on, do it again, let's go. Yep, let's go.
Andy, you're in a special position here at Leicester, aren't you? I mean, you joined here when you were 15 and you've seen them almost through the levels. I mean, try and sum up that journey if you can.
I think the way to sum it up, we probably had to take a step back to take 2 forward. We were always a good team, we've always had good players, and we've made massive strides forwards, and hopefully we can keep that going now. We've
experienced highs and lows together, been in desperate situations, like being nearly dead and buried last season in the Premier League and saving ourselves. So those experiences together help to form a bond.
A summer earlier, the Foxes appeared doomed for relegation after just a year in the top flight. But a run of 7 wins in 9 saw them escape the drop. It was arguably the greatest escape in Premier League history, and the prologue to the most incredible sporting story ever told.
And that will do it for Leicester City. There have been some special ones, but this has to be the greatest escape from relegation that the Premier League has ever known. Leicester City are staying on in the top flight of English football.
So for more on this, we can join Rob Dorset. Rob, let's put this into context. Just how much of a shock is it?
Well, I think it is a real shock, and it will come as a huge shock to Leicester City fans, because Nigel Pearson had been sacked by the board of directors, and Pearson had done such a fantastic job in rescuing Leicester and keeping them in the Premier League. I think the fans will be disappointed to see him go, but of course the question will move very quickly on to who will be his replacement. The king is dead, long live the next king.
Lacey, how are you, son?
How are you? Good. First of all, I'm very excited to be here, to come back in England, in the Premier League. I love the English football because it has my character. I am a fighter. I work to continue to fight every match. Sunderland, Chelsea, Manchester United, we are a little club who want to fight against everybody.
Normally when somebody gets a job as a new manager at a football club, things aren't particularly good. But you came into an atmosphere, I suppose, or into a football club where the players are already quite close, as are the backroom staff. So what was that like to enter into?
Oh, I spoke very, very clear. And I said, hey, I don't want to change so much. I change slowly, don't worry. Because also there was Robert Huth, who was with me in Chelsea. And then when I met them, Robert told to them, now we start to play, to train every day, maybe twice a day, and they were very, very worried about it. And I said, don't worry, I don't change your what you are used to do, just to put my Italian idea about tactics, about football, with the English performance, because I love the English players when they play so strong and they give everything on the pitch.
Take a man. It's difficult.
As a player, I was one of these. And then for me it's important. You have to play 100%. The performance must be fantastic. Then the result, it doesn't matter, because if the others is better than you make only to congratulate with them.
Ufi, are you here?
Well, this time last year, it's well documented, isn't it? You know, you guys, not you in particular, you know, because I know where you put your hat, but we were down, out, and then start the season, Claudio comes in, pundits again, Claudio first out, Leicester City, bottom three.
You are my Sharks. Do you remember? No, 11 years ago. And we live together. The manager are every hour under pressure. When I stay home, I am pressure with my wife.
What did you make of, I suppose, the response to your appointment? I suppose it was a little bit mixed with the Greece situation, because it was a tough job you had with the national team. What did you think of it?
No, I'm laughing because everybody say, oh, the Greece. I didn't coach in Greece because only 4 matches, and I trained just 3 times each match. What I can do there? I am not a magician. I am a normal man who works so hard with a passion, with the love. And then I was waiting. A new challenge.
This is what it's all about. Just listen to the noise at the King Power. After 11 years away from English football, he's back. The former Tinkerman of Chelsea, now in charge of Leicester City.
You're always keen to say to the media, we are fighters, we fight to the end.
Yeah.
Is that the message you were very clear to say to the players when you first arrived?
Yes, I said, look, we are 25, around 25, 26. I had to understand and know everybody. It's easier for you understand only me. I am only one new man. If you understand very, very fast my idea, we can do something good.
Leicester are loving this! Claudio Ranieri is back with a bang in English football. An almighty bang. A pulsating performance from Leicester City today, high on energy and excellence. It finishes at the King Power. Leicester City 4, Sunderland 2.
Here's Vardy. Leicester beginning to make inroads. Okazaki, brilliant effort, and it's in! Leicester take the lead with a sweeping move, and Okazaki, signed in the summer for £7 million from Mainz, gets his first goal for the club.
With the change in manager over the summer, did that have an impact on the style of players you were then looking to bring in?
No, I don't think so. I think we always knew the assets we already had, and it was kind of adding to that to make it work. Probably more fundamental is getting the right characters in. You can take a slight less ability player if they're prepared to buy into what we do.
Oh, Brighton. Purposeful, little lay back. Mahrez 2-0.
The Italian philosophy is pay attention on the tactics movement, with the ball, without the ball, and I try to improve my players in this way. And they absorb everything, slowly we getting better.
Come on then, what is it like to be part of this Leicester side?
Well, it's great being part of a team where everyone's on the same page. I think football has got lost in the tiki-taka way. If you can do it in one pass, why take 5? You play to your strengths, and that's been our strength this season, is being able to play very compact and then hit teams on the break with the speed we've got is incredibly effective. So for us, it's not about having the ball, it's about what we do when we do have the ball.
Hardly any right to score from there.
Wins against Sunderland and West Ham, followed by a hard-fought point against Spurs, lifted the Foxes to joint second in the league, before travelling to Bournemouth.
Gradle's there, and so too is Wilson! What about that?
That says it all. There's no words needed there, is there?
Vardy, and he will test Elphick here. Vardy going on, superbly done. Oh, he went down. It has to be a penalty. Leicester will have a chance to get themselves the equalising goal. 1-1. Powered home by Jamie Vardy. And Leicester are back level.
Consolidating the team's early success was now the focus. And a battle with local rivals Aston Villa was to fill the back pages.
Jim, you became a cult figure within 24 hours with that Villa game. Just talk me through that again.
I was watching the Villa game. We're 2-0 down, and Villa being the local rivals, I get a bit excited. When Jamie made it 2-2, just lost it a little bit. It's like that every game though, unfortunately. My phone went daft at the end of the game, and it was only when I realised from my friend from Dubai. She picked it up and sent me a text, and I thought she was back home in Manchester, but that's when I realised how far it had gone.
A brave header on his debut from Nathan Dyer encapsulates the fighting spirit that will typify Leicester's season. The results kept on coming, but a leaky defence was becoming a concern.
We're the only team left in the Premier League with an unbeaten record.
That is good. But now there is a very big match Saturday. It's a very good team, smart, fast, technical, everything. They are ready to fight for the title, and then. But it will be a very good match.
A long wait in the tunnel for the two teams. Where's Morgan leading out Leicester City, who had to come from behind a fair old bit lately, in their last 4 matches in fact. Here they come, and just savour the noise here for Leicester City and Arsenal. Here's Vardy, Leicester quickly up the other end, Okazaki in the box, Vardy! His scoring spree continues. It doesn't matter who you are, they are loving life under Claudio Ranieri. Lovely ball through, Cazorla, it's Theo Walcott, and it's 1-1. It is a rapid response from Arsenal in what's been an astonishing end-to-end game so far. Hooked in by Ozil, and the flag stays down. And Alexis Sanchez has scored again. Arsenal have a firm grip on this game. Mahrez, Kramaric, has to score but doesn't. Check. Quite a barrier, but Jamie Vardy does score. Although there's a bit too much to do this time.
Despite a dominant Arsenal performance, Leicester never stopped pressing. The Foxes lose 5-2, but this refusal to back down to so-called bigger clubs is a clear statement of intent.
Well done to Arsenal, but we played a good match. Our fans were happy, of course, not for the result, but how we fight. That is important. And now I want to see how is our reaction.
The Premier League's top goal scorer with a chance to add another to his tally. It's Vardy, it's 1-0 Leicester City.
Leicester bounce back in style, and Ranieri's men are back to winning ways.
Fought forward with this attack, led initially by Schlupp. Schlupp again. 2-0. Fabulous goal. Claudio Ranieri punches the air. This has been a big test for his Leicester City team.
How important has it been to get these points on the board now? I was looking at your fixtures from the end of November through to the new year, and it's Manchester United, Chelsea, Everton, Liverpool, and Manchester City.
Stop, please. One.
You know they're coming, don't you?
Yeah, I know very well.
Very hard to keep clean sheets the first few months of the season. Why was that, do you think?
It's not as if we was getting, battered and losing by 2-3 goal margins each game. We was losing by the odd goal. So the longer it went on, the more of a deal was made about that. The pressure of the clean sheet. We need to get a clean sheet.
If I remember well, since I'm here, only one in friendly match, we maintained the clean sheet. Of course, I'd like to maintain for 9-10 times in this Premier League the clean sheet.
As a defender and a centre-half, my pride and joy is to keep clean sheets, and if the team kept a clean sheet, I've contributed to the performance of the team, definitely. So I have to say it's always a team effort. It's just not down to the defenders and the goalkeeper.
Always we consider goal. I say, that's not possible. Come on, man. I offer a pizza. Do you want pizza? I offer pizza.
Vardy, one-on-one with the keeper, Jamie Vardy!
And then when we make a clean sheet, they come together with a pizzeria. Yeah. And I said, okay, now you have to do the pizza. Come on, show me.
Yeah, it's a bit different, but much appreciated, definitely. It probably just shows the kind of character of the manager, I'd never say no to pizzas anyway.
And they start to joke. It was a great day.
Within the team, individuals have shone. None more so than Jamie Vardy, whose journey has been exceptional. From non-league obscurity to Premier League legend, his nomadic ascent up the football leagues has been a triumph of hard graft, crowned of course by an England call-up.
It's very hard to pinpoint any one good player, any key player in this Leicester City side, in the squad. But certain individuals have made their own storylines. Jamie Vardy, for example, on that amazing run. What was it like for you as a manager watching him off the pitch? Did his attitude change at all during that run, or was he still the same Jamie Vardy?
No, Jamie's a Jamie. Jamie's a Jamie. Around all his life, he doesn't change. He's a fantastic man with a big heart for his teammates, for the people who knows him.
It's now 8 in a row in the Premier League. No one
I don't think these kind of years are going to come around that often, are they?
No, probably not. It's been a remarkable season on the field and off, and it's been a bit mental, but it's been very enjoyable.
And let's just rewind the clock, because towards the end of last season, you were starting to score a few goals. I think you got 4 in 11. You got your England call-up as well. Was that very much the catalyst to what we're seeing now?
Yeah, I think I just needed a year to bed in and get used to everything and to adapt. And luckily, with all the lads being exactly the same, it kind of all happened at the right time.
This is Jamie Vardy! History maker! 10 out of 10!
You did find it quite hard to adjust to the Premier League then?
Yeah, we're at the start. Obviously, it's a massive jump again, and it weren't that we were playing bad. It was just knowing that, obviously, if you make the slightest mistake, then it gets punished. Whereas in the Championship, if you make a mistake, you might get punished, but you know that you're going to get the opportunity to put that right later on.
But you go down in Premier League folklore now, you're going to be in the record books. Can you remember that moment when you broke that record? I mean, against all the teams in Manchester United, with Van Nistelrooy's record being the previous one. What went through your mind? Can you remember? I mean, now, or is it all still a bit of a blur?
Yeah, there were a lot of emotions flying.
The ball in behind Damian Vardy!
So I think you could see that from the way I ran off celebrating. But you showed what it meant to the lads as well. Every single one of the boys were straight up there to join the celebrations with me.
It will be remembered as the day when Jamie Vardy made history in the Premier League, scoring for an 11th consecutive match.
And it's not only Jamie Vardy hogging the headlines. Enter Riyad Mahrez with a seemingly effortless hat-trick that propels Leicester straight to the top of the table.
One defeat in 14 for them so far, none in the last 7 games. It's tossed in there, oh, it's gone in! Leicester City have scored, Mahrez is getting the congratulations.
Enjoyment in the football is to play, just to play.
Did you play with the same mentality as the kid that was growing up in France?
I try to play like that. It's how I am.
Up to Vardy it goes. Kante, Mahrez, no flag, Mahrez! Oh, wonderful! Riyad Mahrez at the double, Leicester City at the double. Swansea's trouble continues.
I enjoy to play football, training, games. I want like every 3 days the games, every 2 days I miss the competition.
A real drive about him, Kante. Now he has managed to get it to Jamie Vardy, who's got it to Mahrez. That may well do it, a hat-trick for Riyad Mahrez. And Leicester City are firmly back in the driving seat.
Recruiting players, looking for talent is your job. Being instrumental in bringing Jamie Vardy, Riyad Mahrez and N'Golo Kante. How rewarding then is it to see them flourish at the highest level?
It gives me immense pleasure. It really does. I'm so delighted for them.
It's the perfect day today. We won. We're top of the league and I scored a hat-trick for help the team to win. So I'm happy and everything is good. Yeah.
It's your first ever hat-trick, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my first ever on my small career, little career. Yeah.
Do you realise that the job you're doing and the job that you've done so far is having, you know, widespread consequences to other clubs and how they go about recruiting their players?
I don't know how to answer that. I really don't.
Next is the turn of title holders Chelsea. Having just lost to Premier League newcomers Bournemouth, the pressure to get a result is all on the champions as they travel to the King Power Stadium.
Leicester bottom a year ago will return to the top if they win. Kante, Ulloa. Here's Mahrez. Oh, it's a brilliant goal. It's that man again.
Sir Alex Ferguson, no less, described you as one of the most influential people in the Premier League this season. Coming from him, I mean, how proud are you to hear that?
Absolutely blown away by it. It's not an exact science either. And however many stats you've got, gut instinct and experience counts for a lot. There's nothing better than the naked eye to go and actually watch a player and make a call on whether that player will meet the requirements of the team.
It's Riyad Mahrez who can take it down. He's good enough to do that, good enough to get Chelsea twisting and turning. And
Christmas comes early for Leicester City, but not for Mourinho. Losing to Leicester earns him the sack. Now headline writers are no longer interested in the heroics of just Vardy and Mahrez. The whole team is the story for the second half of the season.
Without quality you can do nothing, but I think our strength is our spirit. When we go to press, immediately arrive the second, the third, to get our press, get the ball, and straight away we try to score a goal. That's it.
Interesting conversation with you and Steve Walsh, and he was saying, N'Golo Kante.
Yes,
And he said, I don't want to sign him.
No, we had other idea at the beginning, no? There were an international player, but when I watched him, I said, okay, go with N'Golo.
For the tackle is the first in the 5 first league. Is the first. For recovering balls is the second. That's Kante.
We have a lot of kids on site, it's the academy, so it's our job really to make sure that they're safe and feel safe. There's this young kid wandering around looking a bit worried. As I gather, it was only his second day on the complex. I approached him and said, are you all right, chap? Are you okay? He said, will security get me a taxi? Where's the taxi for? Looking down at him, and he said, Hilton Hotel. And I'm thinking, are you sure you've not got your parents to come and pick you up? To get a taxi to the Hilton Hotel? And he was looking up at me, no, I just need a taxi. So we found him a taxi, and I was still unsure. So I go to the office to find out who it is, and lo and behold, it was Kante.
The new £5 million signing.
That, to me, looked like a 12-year-old. A bit embarrassing. he looks up to me now as somebody who looks after him, looks out for him.
Come on, Moss! Stay high. Ready to press. Hey!
One thing that they all have is a passion to succeed.
There is no sort of egos, there is no cliques. The TV series, The Band of Brothers. To me, that's what they're like.
We work out for each other. It's like it's like a brother, it's like a friend. Even if sometimes we're not good or we don't play that good, we know we're gonna be solid, compact, we're gonna work for everyone. So that's the secret, I think.
Back to business for Leicester, and a win over Everton ensures their place as Christmas #1 for the first time in the club's history.
Being top at Christmas was obviously massive. I think that's probably when we looked at it and thought, we've got a chance of doing something half decent here. Not the top 4, but maybe top 6, top 7. I think we've got a chance of Europa League.
Okazaki, they're in again. They've scored again. What about this? There's the full-time whistle. Leicester City will be top of the table at Christmas.
A loss to Liverpool marks the wobble many predicted, and the first in a run of 3 blanks that sees them relinquish the top spot to Arsenal.
Do you shout very often?
Yeah, a lot. Sometimes I want to break the mind and change the chip. But it's difficult. And when we are desperate, we play well. We must be desperate.
The gaffer wanted us to get to 40 points. I remember when we got to 39, I think we was on, bang on the halfway stage, and the gaffer said, 1 more point. So we were all like, yeah, 40 points, we can do that. And he was like, no, I want 1 more point in the next half of the season, so I want to finish on 79. We were just like,
he's moved the goalposts.
Yeah.
We have to take 2 points every match now, from now to the end, and we arrive at 79. We make 39 points at the beginning. Now we are much better from the beginning. And then it's right if we improve. If we don't improve, we made a fantastic season, but we slowed down.
The Foxes rise to the occasion once again, returning to winning ways, grabbing a vital 3 points from a gruelling contest. But a Spurs team packed with exciting young talent shares the spoils as they claim the FA Cup replay. In the midst of this punishing run of showdowns, a local derby ends all square at the final whistle, earning Leicester the point they needed to reclaim top spot.
What a touch! And Ban is there to save it, but Okazaki follows up and somehow it hasn't crossed the line. The Japanese international was sure it had. Or indeed has it? It has! And the Japanese international gives the Leicester the lead here.
More direct from Albrighton. And then it came out to Drinkwater! Drinkwater looking for Vardy. He's in behind Jamie Vardy. 2-0.
It's a routine win over Stoke, but this isn't the time to get complacent. A perilous string of ties against three of the league's biggest clubs looms large. This is a time to truly show their mettle.
Mahrez, excellent work. Mahrez, high ball over the top. Vardy is chasing it. Thinks about the shot first time. Oh, what a goal! That is absolute top class.
No, I'd seen him all game, to be honest with you. I kept having a look up and he was always on the edge of his box, and when I've been put through off Riyadh, I'm wide, but I've not got no support, so I've just hit it, hoping that he's off his line a bit, and luckily he were, and it's just nestled into the top corner. It's probably my best, no shadow of a doubt. Just hope there's more of them to come.
I was close to clap my hands, to be honest, but I felt too bad in this moment.
Next up, another daunting fixture. This time, second-placed Manchester City.
What's been your high point this season?
I think if I had to pick a game out, it would definitely be Man City.
Sergio Aguero in irresistible form at the moment.
The players they've got, the reputation.
Before the game, I was like, oh no, we can't win at City. It will be difficult. If we get a draw, maybe it's good, but City will be difficult to win.
Who's going to take it? It's Mahrez in the end. It goes a long way. It's in from Huth. And Leicester City grab the lead early from the big defender Robert Huth. Well, what about that? The amazing Leicester City story goes on.
First half I was quiet, and the manager shouted at me a little bit.
I told to them, it's not important the result. It's important your attitude.
And half time said, oh Riyadh, come on, we need you.
If your attitude is not 100%, I get crazy. I change my face. You look at me smiling, but be careful.
He does kick off. I just ignore him, mate. It means so much, don't it? He's really passionate about that.
But we were winning, eh?
Yeah.
We were winning 1-0, eh?
And you're still throwing things around?
I get crazy in the dressing room.
And Mahrez has made something of that. It's Mahrez.
And then like 2 minutes after the half time I scored, so...
Astonishing developments here. They've done exactly what they did at the start of the first half and scored within a couple of minutes at the start of the second. Corner kick though. Silver to curl one in. It goes a long way. It's a brilliant save from Schmeichel.
What a reaction save.
And then score 3 goals. City.
Here comes the corner kick, and Huth is there again, and it's 3! Robert Huth! Leicester City are in dreamland here!
To come to a place like this and to perform the way we did, and 3 goals, maybe could have got a few more, and it's just an amazing day.
And it wasn't a scrappy win. We got clapped off as well.
What a win for Leicester City!
Everyone sort of stepped back and took a look at us and thought, hold on, they're in it for the long run.
They've come to the favourites, Manchester City, and beaten them by 3 goals to 1.
Came away from that game and I thought, we've just put a marker down today.
Maybe it can happen something amazing this year.
Well, Conte realised he had to get to that and did. It's Vardy. Oh, he's gone down in the air, it's a penalty! Martin Atkinson points to the spot. Vardy scores!
Andy, tell me from your perspective, where was the defining moment of this season where you thought Leicester are on the verge of something special?
I think there's probably been a few. We then lost to Arsenal in that heartbreaking way, which it was. But the way we bounced back from then has obviously been brilliant. Great credit to everyone, and also, a big shout out must go to the manager and staff. They gave us a week off after that game, and that really gave everyone a chance to get away from each other, get away from the training ground, get away from just football for a little bit, and then when we came back we were hungry, we'd put that to bed, and we almost wanted to make up for that, what we felt was an injustice, and we've used that as motivation between now and then.
The King Power was fast earning the reputation as one of the noisiest grounds in football. And as Leicester continued to send shockwaves through the league, celebrations in the stands literally caused an earthquake.
How much of the fans played their part this season?
Yeah, massive. I don't think just this season, all throughout the Championship, but at the end of last season, when the clappers came in, or even before then, when things weren't going so well, they were right behind the team. It's been an unbelievable journey, and I'm sure if we said to them all at the start of the season, would you take a top 4 finish, they would have ripped your hand off for it. But they're like us, they want us to finish the job.
In your 30 years of management, you've managed some big clubs in some big stadiums. But I don't think many of them, when the fans get together, almost cause an earthquake.
Yeah, no, the fans here are fantastic, so fantastic. But from the beginning, they wanted me when there were some friendly matches, they make some song for me, but I was so concentrated to understand the players, and I didn't hear them, And then came my fitness coach and said, "Hey, Claudio, the fans want you, say hello."
Give a wave.
Yes, and I say, "Hey, hello, I'm sorry, I am very, very concentrated, I'm very focused on the pitch, I want to..."
Yeah.
But from the beginning, in the friendly match, it was amazing, and our fans are our stamina, our vitamin, because we are trying to enjoy them, and we want to give all our strength from them.
Elsewhere, Tottenham beat Swansea for a 6th win on the trot, while Arsenal trip up at Manchester United. With top spots well and truly in Spurs' crosshairs, it was becoming a 2-horse race.
This is Fletcher with Sessegnon to his right, and he looks to drive away through for Rondon here, and he's held off Huth, and he scores! Drinkwater urged to shoot, and it got a deflection, it's in!
Dropping points against West Brom gives Spurs the chance to go top of the pile, but they blow it with a loss to West Ham, yet the race was growing ever tighter. Having failed to keep a clean sheet in their first 11 games, Leicester finally tighten up to show the defensive grit of champions with a run of 1-0 shutouts. A robust display, and Mahrez's 15th goal of the season ensures all 3 points. Struggling Newcastle next, and with McLaren out and Benitez in, the Spaniards' first task is to keep the Foxes at bay. It's not to be. A sublime overhead kick by Shinji Okazaki secures the points. And what a way to score his first goal at the King Power Stadium.
Okazaki! Spectacular goal!
Another 1-0 win, another familiar scoreline.
What happened at the turn of the year for the defence to keep all those clean sheets? That run of 1-0 wins as well, from what I remember around February, March time. Was that a tactical ploy from you?
No, I think we are working every time, for to improve our defensive attitude. We can make a clean sheet when all the team regain the ball or close the space and press and work together.
Obviously the first season in the Premier League didn't quite go as we wanted it, but second season's been a completely different story, and I felt like I've grown into it and got stronger and stronger as I've gone on. You go through the whole team, and I've got nothing but praise for everybody. Everybody's hit their absolute top form every single game, and that's just testament to their mentality.
How has Robert Huth helped you with your game?
Yeah, he's just been a steady figure beside me. He's always talking. He's always telling me positions in relation to him. And
you don't mind that, despite you being the captain, you don't mind that?
No, because I give it back to him as well. So it works both ways, but we both listen. That's the important things. We're not like, why am I listening to you? Like, I've played the game as long as you have. Like, it's not like that. We're always willing and want to help each other, and it just adds to the dynamics of the defence and the whole team, and it just spreads throughout. So he's come in, he's experienced, he's been a common influence, and he's just led by example, I'd say.
But what about the guys on the flanks, the likes of Danny Simpson and Christian Fuchs, almost seen as the unsung heroes of the back line? What are they like to play with?
I think they've been absolutely superb. Since they both came into the side, they didn't start the season, but they've came in and then they've cemented their place, and I think they've been amazing. They've had, well, as a defence, we come under a lot of pressure. We like to circle with the pressure and counter attack, and you have to stand firm. And Simo, he's under because he don't get much help from. Well, he gets a little help. He gets little help from Riyadh, but he can cope, more than cope with that. He's solid. He reads the game well. He's always in the right positions, and I think towards the end of this season, he's been noticed more and more, and he's started to shine now, and that's fantastic for him. And the same goes with Christian. He's as a fullback, you always have to be in the right positions and read the game well. And as well as your own game, you have to work as a unit as well. And I think all of us together combine to make a fantastic unit.
Next up, Southampton. And this time, it's captain Wes Morgan's turn to lead from the front. The Foxes hold their nerve to go 7 points clear.
They really are starting to think it is their destiny.
A 7-point lead soon becomes 10 as Vardy nets twice against Sunderland.
He's the first Leicester player to score 20 top-flight goals in a season for 31 years. Van Aanholt has to try and keep Vardy under control, and Vardy is past him. This will finish it. Jamie Vardy gets his second, and the impossible dream is getting closer to reality, and they know it.
Great game. I mean, obviously it was tough. We knew it was going to be, and we managed to grind it out, and we've got the 2 goals and 3 more points in the right direction. And now we'll enjoy this for the rest of the day, and then get back on the training field to focus on next week.
Leicester, 3 steps to heaven now. 3 wins is what it will take to deliver the first title in their 132-year history.
I was very, very emotional because before playing we watched some old lady with our shirts. Oh, it was unbelievable. And when we won, I saw all the fans there. I clap, and then I say, unbelievable. These people comes from Leicester, maybe 7-8 hours on the bus. It's unbelievable.
So after 30 years in management, seeing something like that still touches you?
Yes, of course. I continued my job because it's important for me, the emotion. When I finish the emotion, I finished my career. But until my emotion is so high, it's okay.
Hey, man, we are in Champions League. We are in Champions League, man.
That was my next question.
Dilly-din, dilly-dong, come on. You forget, you speak about blah, 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 but we are in Champions League.
How big an achievement for you?
Oh, it's fantastic, fantastic.
And finally, the business end of season. Could the dream be real? Is the unthinkable becoming thinkable? The entire city of Leicester draws a collective breath. The race is on. First up, a frantic clash with in-form West Ham.
In a country where reaction to sporting success can often be jealousy, the level of new love for Leicester City is quite remarkable. Oh! Well, you don't get any nearer to a goal like that without celebrating one.
3 times the West Ham player has got his head on the ball.
Lovely measured ball by Mahrez. Conte, it's Jamie Vardy, it's a goal for Leicester! In the 18th minute,
Lift-off time again at the King Power Stadium. Finally, the referee deciding some cards will just curb the free kick, and they're not going to get one. And here's Vardy. Bonner's the defender. John Moss has... Oh, well, Vardy is in trouble here. Jamie Vardy gets a second yellow for simulation. And here is a twist to the tail. The rest of this game, of course, and he'll be suspended. Well, the next game here against Swansea. High it takes, with real devil on it. And the penalty's been given. And the warning signs have been there. And he hasn't ducked the issue. John Moss. Mark Noble scored it, but he's off. That was at Wolves. Here at Leicester, Carroll scores 1-1. The London boy. It's Cresswell! Oh! Brilliant for West Ham. Very tough on Leicester. Few shakes of the head, but well, it's too early for tears. You just don't sail to the Premier League title on a wave of emotion and on throw from Fuchs. Oh, but hold him. Penalty. John Moss pauses for Thornton. Who could be in big trouble if he's not careful. Schlupp. Giving it. He's given it. John Moss has pointed for the spot. Only just inside the penalty area, but the pressure has paid. So Leo Ulloa, who scored a vital goal here to beat Norwich City recently, with virtually the last kick of the game, has a chance to get 10-man Leicester City a point. It's a chance he takes. 2-2! Ulloa up to the task, and Leicester City up for the title.
Well, it's a draw that'll feel like a win here for Leicester City.
Elsewhere, Spurs beat Stoke to reduce the deficit to 5 points. With Jamie Vardy banned from the action, can Swansea spoil the party?
Fabio Ranieri makes 2 alterations today. Jeff Schlupp earned that late penalty against West Ham and is rewarded with a start. Leo Ulloa replaces the suspended Jamie Vardy. So we're off at the King Power.
Sat with Birch during the game and I actually felt sick with the nerves. And Birch said he felt exactly the same. He said he's been in the game 80, 90 years, hasn't he? So
Vards has played so many games that we're in a pattern, and they were worried.
He will fail, and it's a mistake by Williams of all people. He's given it to Mahrez of all people. 1-0 Leicester.
Ulloa comes in, he's a different player to Vards. You know, Leo's great at holding the ball up and knocking it off. And what happens? All the nerves I had before the match and our supporters was put away.
Ulloa up with him. He's going to give it to Ulloa. 3-0.
we just said to each other, we said, in all my time at the club, I've never ever known noise like it. It was just electric.
Have you ever detected nerves from the players?
No, I'd have to say.
Not once?
No, not once. I think they've been the same group, and that's the biggest compliment I can pay them. I really enjoy working with them. But you know what? Their self-confidence, their chemistry between each other. I've never been at a football club where it's been as good as this.
Brighton in the middle. King! Gray! All Brighton! 4! There's victory without Vardy, and a big one. 4-0.
No need for nerves. Leicester deliver their biggest win of the season, and Mahrez's sensational contribution is capped with the PFA Player of the Year award.
Just to put my name behind those amazing names, footballers, big careers, something's amazing. I'm very proud, It's a big honor. I'm very grateful. Without my teammates, I wouldn't get this award. It's a big honor to be the first African. Not the best, but the first, so I'm very happy, yeah.
100 miles down the M1, Spurs need to beat West Brom at White Hart Lane, but they drop points, conceding a late equaliser, leaving the door wide open for Leicester to clinch the title at the Theatre of Dreams against Manchester United that following Sunday.
Leicester City remain the most discussed football club in the world. From a long distance, their rags to riches tale is enchanting. Here in their own country, they've won acclaim, admiration and affection. Now, Alan, all they need to cap it off is to win the trophy. Leicester's record at Old Trafford is not encouraging from their point of view. Their only Premier League victory here was 18 years ago under the management of Martin O'Neill, Jesse Lingard. He's got Valencia advancing outside him. Good work from Valencia. Rashford. Martial! Well, Claudio Ranieri has to take on the chin, conceding the opening goal. Well, some of the older Leicester fans will have seen trouble here for the Foxes in the past. The flick on from Schlupp as he was fouled. Michael Oliver just waiting to see if anything accrued for Leicester, which it didn't, so he's given them the free kick. Water to take it. Morgan going in, and Wes Morgan heads it in. They're level. Leicester hit back like champions. Well, it's a very good point for Leicester. The title isn't theirs today, but they've come a step closer. From 3 points, from 3 games needed, it's down to 2 from 2. No victory parade on this May Day for Leicester City, but they will be celebrating soon enough if last season's champions can make them this season champions by not losing to Spurs at Stamford Bridge tomorrow night. At Old Trafford, Manchester United won, Leicester City won.
Chelsea trailing 1-0 here, trying to find their way back into this match. Just possession again. This is Eriksson. It's a lovely through ball. They find Son! And second place Spurs lead 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. They're just not giving up in the race for the title. Around with the corner for Chelsea. Gary Cahill's there! Chelsea halved the deficit with almost an hour on the clock. Gary Cahill's second league goal of the season, and it's 2-1, game on. Good run this by Hazard. It's Costa. Turns Alderweireld into the path of Hazard! Eden Hazard makes it 2-2. That goal might just be enough to break Spurs' hearts and crown Leicester City as the new Premier League champions.
finally, it's time to get the party started. And the Everton team are top of the guest list.
Everton, 9 times champions themselves down the years, pay their respects as the King Power throngs stand up for the champions. These Leicester heroes step out again. Taken in 5 minutes to pounce.
But I've seen that side a few times, haven't I? This crowd, and it was so easily constructed. Andy King got the ball.
Get some rain out there, don't they? We get some rain here. And here's Mahrez raining down. They're lining up. 2-0. Andy King shows that eye for goal. And the champions lead Everton 2-0.
I don't know how to put this one, but you're the most mature man ever to win the Premier League title.
Don't tell me this, man. Come on.
I was going to ask you whether that makes it more enjoyable for you.
From the beginning, I enjoy all the season. I think that is my karma, no? Thank you to the chairman. Always he gave to us calm, positivity. The staff, of course, all my players. They fight so hard, and the fans, all Leicester, all the community, they were amazing.
I want to say the best player was a team. The team spirit was the best player.
Everybody, my family, my friends, and everybody I know, the postman, everyone's so proud of me, and it's hard not to get a bit emotional sometimes, but when I retire one day, I'll be looking back and thinking, wow, that's definitely one of the highlights of my life.
It's like a dream come true for, not just for me, for the whole city, I think, and for the players and staff. Even I wake up another day, it's still, it's unbelievable.
I can't give them enough praise because they've really excelled to the extent that we are where we are.
On May the 7th, when Wes Morgan and Claudio Ranieri lifted the Premier League trophy at the King Power Stadium, Leicester City concluded the story that's captured the world's imagination. It was a moment in history that will never be forgotten and may never be outshone. A moment that put romance back into football and proved that underdogs should dream. It was the moment Leicester City beat the bookies and turned a city blue with pride. Will anything so spectacular ever happen again in sport? 12 short months of football have given us the most unlikely of heroes from the most unlikely of places. Thanks to Leicester City, sport may never be quite the same again.
I want to say thank you to everybody, because in all the season they push behind us and they believe in us. Well done, thank you! Keep dreaming, don't